So what I've got here, Kitty, is some chicken legs. I didn't have any thighs or anything in the freezer, so I had some legs. So I'm going to, what I did was I poked them a little bit before I started the video. Then I'm going to put a little garlic season on them. You can season, you probably have your favorite seasonings. You can put on whatever you like. I put garlic salt, and then I put some Montreal chicken from McCormick, and that's usually pretty good stuff. And I'll put it like that. And I'll put it on both sides and before I start cooking. All right, Kitty, before you get started, it's good to spray a little Pam in your bottom so you don't have sticking problems. Okay, so Kitty, these are big drumsticks, so I was only able to fit 4 in, and what I'll do is I'll probably cook the other 2 maybe while I'm having dinner or something. I don't really need these tonight anyway. So now as we put this into the fryer, I have heard that people have broken their basket off or something, so I just, when I'm first putting in, as long as it's not hot, I hold it underneath until I get it in there, and you kind of have to have it on a downward slope to get it in right, and then it just pops in like that. Now I will turn that on, and chicken is supposed to be for 360 degrees, and the timing is going to be, the oven takes about 3 minutes to preheat, so they tell you to add extra 3 minutes to what you're cooking. So I'm going to go, we'll start with 18 minutes plus the 3 minutes of preheating. So we're going to go with 21 minutes right now. I will check it after the first 8 minutes, and then you will want to keep turning it probably every 5 minutes after that. Kitty, so it's been like I said, about 8 or 9 minutes. So what you do when you want to check it is you just pull and put it over here, and we're going to now turn it for the first time. As you can see, it's sizzling, it's cooking real good. And one other tip I might give you is, if you'll notice, I'm using tongs with silicone tips. That way you won't use metal and damage the non-stick coating on the bottom of the basket. And then once I've basted it, not basted, but turned it like that, then what I normally do is, like I told you before, I'll put now that it's hot, I'll use a pot holder to hold that up so that doesn't come off, come loose or break or anything. And then just put in there, and it picks up right where we left off. So you don't have to reset anything. It's showing now 11 minutes left, and I'll be checking it in another 5. Okay, Kitty, it's been another 5 minutes, so I'm going to pull it out, take a look at it, and it's sizzling along, as you can kind of see. And I'm going to turn it again. The key is turning on this thing, evidently, so they say. All right, and then again, I like to give a little bottom support to the whole thing as I'm putting it in. You kind of an upward, downward motion like this, and it slides right in, picks up right where we left off. And there we go. Okay, it's time to turn them again, or check them out, see how they're doing. We're getting close. I mean, looking pretty good here. Look at that. I think maybe I'll take one of these thick ones and cut into it. See how it looks. So, take it over here. And get a knife. So zoom in. All right. So I'm gonna cut into that and see if it's done. It looks like it's still got a little ways to go. So we're gonna put it back in and do another 5 minutes and check it again. All right. So take our top holder, go in there, put it back in, and we're going to adjust our time. Now this over here is the time, and it's really simple. It had 3 minutes left. I'm going to put it up to 6 minutes now. We'll test it again in about 4 or 5, and we'll see how we're doing. Okay, we're getting close. Might turn it one more time. There's the part I cut. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes and cut into one more. See how it goes. You kind of just have to keep an eye on it every 5 minutes or so until it's done. Sometimes it takes longer, especially if the pieces are bigger than you're used to. Okay. I'm going to add a couple minutes. Let's see. I'll give it. It says 6, but I'll probably check it after about 3 and cut into it again and see if it's done. All right, we're going to try this again. I think it should be done by now. And let me just put a different piece than I already cut over in a plate here, and I'll cut into it, and we'll see how she looks. And you hear that crispy skin? See, and that looks good. It's not pink or anything. It's nice, and it'll be nice. And it's going to sit for a few minutes anyway, and it'll because I'm going to cook some baked potatoes next. So let me put all this chicken in the bowl here. And I can set this chicken up here under the heat lamp while my potatoes are cooking. I'll just put some foil over it. I'll keep it nice and toasty for us. All right, so we're gonna have a couple. I was gonna cook French fries, but I found out I don't have any. I thought I had some in the freezer, so I'm gonna spray a little bit of mist a little bit of olive oil on the on some potatoes, and then I'm going to put a little seasoning on those, like some garlic salt again. We love garlic salt, I guess. And I did poke them a couple minutes ago. I poked them already. And I'll put a little bit of this. This is actually core organic, no salt seasoning I get at Costco. It's pretty good stuff. I'll just put a little bit on there like that. Okay. I've got my chicken out of there. I'm not even going to wash this. I'm just going to put the potatoes in the top in there, just like this, like that, and I'm going to put them in, and I'm going to adjust the temperature, but it'll be nice and hot so it won't have to preheat. So I'm going to take the temperature up to 390, and I'll put them on for let's say 15 minutes. I might not need that long. They're small potatoes, but I'll be checking them after every 6 minutes or so. Okay, we're going to turn these potatoes once, and I'm just going to flip them over so the air's circulating on them real good. Oops. Watch the skin on that. That's good. Let me turn that one so he's getting more air. All right. Put it back in. So you there you go. And it picks up right where it left off. And it's showing 8 minutes to go, but it may take a little longer. Potatoes, especially baked ones. If it was French fries, it would have been done in about 10 minutes. But okay, it's down to 3 minutes out of that 15 we set it for. I'm gonna take the potato and I'm gonna just give it a little squeeze to see how it feels. If it's still hard as a rock, or no, it's got a little give. I like my baked potatoes a little bit crunchy, you might say, sometimes. So, but I'm gonna give it the rest of the 3 minutes anyway, and go from there. Let me put that back in there. Back. You know what? I'm going to give it 5 more. Oops, not. I'm going to give it 5 instead of just 3. I'll give it an extra 5 just to get it done the way I like it. Okay, so Kitty, the fryer just beeped 5 times. That means it's over and done with. So when I'm done with it like that, I just take it out. I'm going to our potatoes look done to me. I'll let you know. I'll show you them at the table and we'll see. We're about to unveil the final product here, and the only thing missing would have been one of your great chopped salads. So Kitty, we now have the final result, and this is what dinner looks like tonight. We got that. We got the 2 legs left over. There's Debbie's with her sour cream, and some drinks, of course, to go with it. As you might imagine, we have to have our drink. Okay, so now I've done with the cooking for today. As you can see, there's a little bit of yuck in there and stuff. So I want to point out something, if you didn't know already. This little slider here is very important, and you want to always leave that like that when you're cooking, because then the basket won't detach. Now that we're ready to clean, you push it in like that. Out comes the basket, and we can start putting it in our soapy water, and I'll just let it soak for a second while I'm showing you something else. This is the residue that's left after the chicken. There's some oil. I'll pour that into a can so I don't throw it into the trash, and I'll give this a wipe to get that grime out of there. So I poured the liquidy stuff out pretty much into a can, and now this stuff, you can take a paper towel and get you know, like, this is the residue as you're used to when you cook. You get stuff like that. So just take that, throw that in the trash. And then back to this basket here. We use our sponge. Now, if you have a sponge that has both sides of these, do not use this side. Only use the soft side. That's all it needs. You'll see it's a non-stick coating, and if you wash it gently with a little bit of soap and water and a sponge, it's going to clean up real nicely. And you saw how much kind of brownish stuff was in there, but just use the soft sponge like this. We'll see how it is now. I've given it a few rubs. Let's see how we're at. So see, it almost all came out. Just a couple spots I couldn't see under the soapy water. Give them a little thing right there. There's one stubborn one there. Okay, and the sides are clean. I'll give it one more in here, and we'll do the bottom, and when we rinse. I have a little handy thing here I can use. I don't know if you have one of those in and as you can see now, we are ready to cook again. It's that clean and that quick. And then the same goes for this one. Because of the grime, I'll give that a quick rinse and kind of throw that down the garbage disposal side. Then I'll come in here, put it in the soapy water, and the same thing with the soft side of the sponge. Do a little bit of that, that. And it should be good to go. I'll check the inside, see if we got all that grime out of there. And if we did, one line tiny little spot right there. And that looks like about it. Oh, there's two more. Just you can see them through the soapy water. Now, all right, we're ready to go. See how clean that is? See your reflection in there, kitty?